guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I just want to go ahead and just get to the point. I told this story a couple times to my friends and it was just such a long-winded story about one of my experiences with a Tinder date, and I just thought it was such an off-the-wall experience that it was just one of those experiences that this is really happening right now. A lot of my friends have been asking this, and honestly it's like a long story and I just don't feel like telling it again, so I'm just gonna record it, put it out there, and if they want to know about it they can watch this, because I'm done telling the story. I'm ready to move on. It's ridiculous. So if you want to hear about this ridiculous date, or I wouldn't even call it a date, but if you want to go ahead and listen to the story, just keep on watching. I'm a terrible storyteller, so just bear with me. I'll try to make it as simple as possible. So I matched with this man and he seemed normal, whatever. He's just like, yeah, like I used to be like an athlete in college, which, you know, whatever, who cares. I'm like, cool. So then he's like, yeah, I'm athletic built, so blah blah blah, and he had his pictures or whatever. I'm like, okay, like, first off, I guess that is like red flag number one. He didn't really have like that many pictures, and they were kind of just like, they seemed a bit like Photoshop, so you couldn't really tell like how they really looked. Like most people would take a picture that with whoever, their friends or whatever, and it's just like clear as day, like you know that that's them. Like they don't have like group pictures of people and you gotta figure out who is in the picture. But his was just like very like photoshopped and really weird. But like for whatever reason I was just like, yeah, let's like just keep talking to this guy. So he I ended up talking to him for like a couple weeks, and he's like, yeah, I just moved from Ohio. I'm from Ohio, went to school in Ohio, but now I moved to Michigan for work, which happens a lot because I live near Detroit. And so I'm like, okay, whatever. So he's just like, yeah, I'm like trying to settle in, trying to find a place right now, so I won't be able to like hang out much or anything, you know, right away. So I'm like, yeah, no problem. I let him do his thing, whatever, get settled in and all that stuff, because, you know, I know how it is. When you move, it's just a lot going on. And so we finally get in contact again, like later on. It was like maybe like a week or two later, and she just kind of talked to me like, how have you been, blah blah blah. So like it gets to the point where he's like, when are we gonna hang out? And I'm like, okay, well, I wasn't gonna force you to hang out or anything. Like I don't want to force anything on anybody. I want to, like, if you want to hang out, then you need to tell me you want to hang out. Like, if I want to hang out with you, I'll ask you, whatever. And I told him, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to bother you when I know you're moving. So whenever you're ready, like, whatever. So, like, he was talking to me, and he's like, yeah, like, I always run into these crazy women, and how these women, like, just keep asking me to, like, when are you going to take me out to dinner, and they're just using me for dinner, and, like, this girl and like came to my house and was just like yelling at me and blah blah blah. And so I'm thinking, like, what the heck, like, oh, that must be crazy people. And like, yeah, people from Ohio are crazy and la la la. I'm just kind of like, okay, like I kind of just was like rolling my eyes, like, whatever, like, I think you're being a little dramatic. Like, there's gonna be crazies everywhere, but you're allowing them to be part of your life, so like, whatever. You like, it's probably the type of people that you go for. You probably have like all these like baby mamas who like try to take your money kind of people. So like, I mean, you kind of put yourself in that situation. So he's talking about that, and I was like, okay, whatever, as long as it's in the past, whatever, because like, you know, everybody has a past. Finally get to a day where he's like, yeah, let's hang out. I wanted to be super casual, whatever. Like, to be honest, I just, you know, have a drink or whatever, which is fine. And most men, you know, usually they're very straightforward. They are very honest and just kind of like, you know, let's just go out, whatever. And I work 2 jobs, so I'm like, yeah, let's have it super low key. I think dates are overrated to begin with, and like, if you want to get a drink, let's get a drink. If you want to get coffee, let's get coffee, like, whatever. So he's like, yeah, let's go and have a drink. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, but the way he was saying it like, let's go like right now. So I'm like, yeah, like, cool, I'm down. Let me just grab something for my friend for Christmas, and then I'll head out that way. My friends were like, why didn't he pick you up? But like, I don't want, this is like the reason why I don't let people pick me up, because if they're crazies, like I want to be able to leave when I want to leave if I ever have to leave. I told him I'll meet up somewhere with him, and he like wouldn't make up his mind, and he's just like, oh, like it's gonna give me he goes, give me 3 hours. And I thought he was like joking. He's like, huh, just kidding or whatever. And I was just kind of like, okay, like, when do you want to meet up? And he wouldn't give me a time. He wouldn't, like, he was very just wishy-washy. And like, I'm one of those people, like, I get nervous if I upset people, because I've been told I'm very straightforward, and to me I think it's so much easier to be straightforward and to the point. And apparently he was just not liking it or something. So he's just like, well, I need time to get ready. I need time to eat. I need time to take a shower and all this stuff. Mind you, this was his idea in the first place, to have something super casual, super easy, and just have a drink or whatever. Like, you're already dressed, like if you want to eat, and you're gonna go to a bar, so it's like, just eat at the bar. And I like straight up told him, I was like, I mean, you can eat at the bar, it's fine, like you don't need to make this a big deal. And I told her I don't want to go out late, because I don't like to go out late anymore. Like I'm over that, and I don't feel like being out at freaking 11 o'clock. Like, if you want to meet me, you can meet me at a normal hour, because anything later than that, you're just expecting something else. Like, I don't want to do anything with you. I even prefaced that when I was talking to him. I was like, if you think that this is the thing where you think you're gonna hook up with me or something, it's not gonna happen. That's not what I want. And so he's just like, yeah. And he's just like, so like an hour passed, and I told him, I'm gonna go and run my errand, because, it's his pastime or whatever. And like, it was like an hour and a half that passed, and he ends up calling back. He's just like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, I ran my errand, like, are you ready? Mind you, it's like almost 9 at this point. I didn't even want to go out. He first initiated this conversation around like 4, so that was more than enough time to like decide where you're gonna go. And if it's something super casual, like, I should have been like, whatever. So he's just like, oh, I just woke up. And I'm like, what do you mean you just woke up? You said that you needed time to get ready or whatever. And he's like, oh, I fell asleep and I took a nap, and I haven't eaten yet, and I haven't taken a shower. So at this point I'm like pissed, because it's like, if you say you're gonna if you say you're gonna do something, then you need to do it. Like, that's just how I was been taught. Like, you don't go back on your word or whatever. And it was weird, because you would think I would be the one who like takes forever to get ready, and oh, I need time to doll up and all that stuff. But like, no, like, you're on my time and I'm on your time. Like, come on now. So clearly this should have been like a heads up. This guy has a new puppy. I bet you got that for Christmas. Aww, he's trying to teach him how to run. I'm like annoyed, because I'm like, and like I told him straight up, like I said, I'm very straight up. Like, what do you mean? You said that you're gonna be ready and you haven't even gotten ready. So he's like, I didn't even come off to him as like in a negative way, or like came off strong or anything. I just told him, I was like, well, like, at this point, like, are you wanting to go out or are you not? Because I need to go on with my day. If you don't want to, like, that's fine. You can cancel. I don't care. Like, whatever. And so he goes, what did he say? He's like, oh, you need to calm down. Like, whatever. And I was like, are you freaking serious, dude? I'm like, don't tell me to calm down. I was like, first off, I didn't even come off on you like that. Like, I've never, like, was angry at you or anything. I just asked you, like, did you still want to go out or not? Because clearly you're showing that you don't want to. And so I was really irritated by that, which, whatever, like, when you tell somebody to calm down, like, they're not gonna calm down. Like, why won't anybody learn that? It doesn't work. So he's just like, I'm just kidding. He's just like, He's like, no, no. And so he starts like stuttering on his words and just coming up with excuses. So he tried to make a joke, which to me, it's not even a joke at all. I think that was like really fucking ignorant, and that right there should have just been like the line. But of course, I'm being stupid and was just being nice because like I talked to him for like weeks. So like I just felt bad at that point. Like if I would like spent all this time and then I'm just like, fuck you. But I really should have been like, fuck you. But he was just like, after he told me, he's like, oh, calm down, haha. And like, I'm like, don't tell me to calm down. Like, I was like, first off, you don't even know me. Second off, I never even went off on you. Like, I'm just trying to get a damn answer out of you and you're not giving me an answer. So do you not want to hang out? And he's like, you know what? I'm a man and men can go ahead and tell women whatever the fuck they want. And that, like, saying all this stuff, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I just like said that and then I just stopped. Like I literally, like, I couldn't I couldn't imagine the words that was coming out of his mouth, and I was just in so much shock. Like, is this really why, like, is this really how you get women? Like, is that how you think that works? Like, okay. And so he's like, oh yeah, like, I'm a man and the men can do whatever they want and say whatever they want to the women because that they own them, and like all this stuff about just like completely like sexist remarks and like all this stuff. And then he slapped a just kidding at the end of it, and he's like, I'm just joking, I'm too nice, I'm such a pushover when it comes to women and I'm just whatever. And I'm like, I literally have nothing to say to you at all. So he's just like, it was a joke, it was a joke. I was like, no, there's one thing being a joke and another thing when you're saying all these like sexist remarks and all this other shit to somebody, mind you, that you haven't met, you don't even know. Like, how is that even funny? It's not funny. Nobody's laughing. Like, it's not, that's not even something to even joke about. Like, how is that funny? And he's like, oh, you need a relax. And then he like stopped. Like, he stopped himself when he said that because, mind you, this just happened because of that comment. And I was like, are you serious? I'm like, honestly, like, this is not what I wanted. And he's like, no, like, just give me a chance and all this stuff. And he's like, you just seem like a really cool girl and you don't seem like you're cool anymore because you just seem like really mad and blah blah blah. It's like, well, how do you expect a person to react that way? Like, I really don't. And so he's like, oh, let's start over or whatever. So fast forward, we finally come to an agreement. He's getting ready and I was heading out his way because I was already out. I was shopping for Christmas, and I agree. It's so stupid. I don't know why I did this. So I agreed to meet at his place, which that should be rule number one that you should not do is like meet them at their place. But whatever. Like, I didn't think anything. I didn't think that he was like harmful or anything. So I'm like, whatever. So I meet at his place. I go up there and he's just like, first off, his pictures are like completely different from what he looked like. In fact, I don't even think they were pictures of him. He said that he was like lean built, whatever. Bitch, you weren't lean built. I don't know what kind of lean you're talking about because he had like a beer belly and stuff. Like, yeah, you're probably in college like fucking 10 years ago. Like, what the hell? But like, I don't care if you have a beer belly, but don't claim that you're like some athletic fucking college, you know, athlete when you haven't. No, just no. So he's just like, it's so ridiculous. Like, I can't even. So he like looked completely different in person. So I'm like already annoyed by that. I was already annoyed from his comment when I was on the phone with him, and then he's just like, oh, you're so short, you're so short, you're so short. And I'm like, okay, we get it. And he's like, you're so short. And I had like a leather jacket on, and he's like, oh, I like your leather jacket. And he like kept feeling the leather jacket. It was just like really weird. Like, I understand, like, okay, thank you for a compliment, whatever. But he like kept going on about it. So I'm like, alright, whatever. I put on my coat and I take off my coat and I hang it on his like chair or whatever. And whenever I'm meeting somebody new, I don't have my phone out or anything because I just think it's rude. And you know, like, it's your phone. Like, come on now. You can put your phone away for a couple of hours to, you know, meet whoever you're gonna meet with, or like if you're going out to eat or something. So we like agreed upon like, let's just have a drink at your place or whatever and then head out. And then like, you know, just to feel for how we feel for like with each other. So I had my phone in my hand and I just put it face down. I always put it face down. I don't know why. Just by nature I do that. So then I put it on his counter and we go and sit on his couch and we're just talking, and he got like asking all these questions about like my family and all this stuff, which it was like really strange to me. Like I thought it was kind of weird just because it's like, okay, like why are you so interested with my family? Like it doesn't, no. So I'm just kind of like gearing away from those questions and stuff, and he's just like, oh, let's watch TV. Like, I don't want to fucking watch TV. I don't watch TV, first of all, so why the fuck would I want to watch TV at your house if, like, I'm trying to get to know you, not fucking watch TV. So he wanted to watch TV for, like, an hour or two or something, and he's just like, then he's gets up, and he went to go and do something in the kitchen, and so he goes over to my phone, and then he's like, pretend this is my phone. And like it's like face down, and he picks it up and he's like, who's Chris? Who's this and that? And like, what are they saying? Why are you texting them and all this stuff? I don't know you. Like, why are you doing this? And like I literally was like, so like at that point I was like, I'm done with this. Like, you're so rude. Like, I don't understand why you think that's even okay. Like, it's not okay. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, like I just need to get the fuck out of here. Mind you, it's like 11 o'clock at this point. He had like so long. He had like fucking like 6 or 7 hours to figure out what the fuck he wanted to do, and like he's like, you want to drink and all this stuff, and I was like, no, I'm good. Like I literally was just like, everything about this, I want this to be over. Like so to make matters worse, he like sits back down and he's like trying to like lighten the mood. I'm clearly irritated at this point, and I was just like, yeah, I'm tired, I'm gonna head home. He's like, oh, you don't want to cuddle? I'm like, no, I don't want to cuddle. Like I was just like so annoyed. I made it known, I made it obvious, like painfully obvious, that I was not interested. I'm like, I'm going home. And so like he's like trying to make jokes, and like and then at one point he was like laid on like the chaise of the couch, and I was sitting on a couch, like just the regular seat part. This was like an L couch, and he's like started to rub his crotch, like trying to get my attention, and like I'm just like looking at him like, okay, like I know what you're doing. And so he starts cracking up and he's like, oh, like he's like, oh, you don't notice me rubbing my crotch? And I was like, yeah, I see it. I was like, and honestly, I don't give a fuck. Like, do you think like that was supposed to like turn me on or something? He's like, oh, you're a funny girl. I really like you. I really like you. And I was just like, okay. So, I'm just like, whatever. And so like throughout the whole process of him talking to me, he kept asking me like, did you vote for Trump? Did you vote for Trump? Did you vote for Trump? And I was like, I don't feel comfortable talking about politics with you or anybody. I don't talk about politics with my friends because it just turns into this huge debate, and honestly, I don't care what your view is on that because I have my own view and you have your own view. I'm not married to you, so it wouldn't matter anyways. Like, even if we were married, like, it wouldn't even matter anyways because that's like your own belief and your own whatever. And he's just like, just kept prying at me about like that, and like he knew, like he kept asking about what it's like to like me and my family because like we're all like different races, like I'm mixed and stuff. And so I'm just like, okay, like stop being ignorant. Like the shit that he was saying was so off the wall and like ridiculous. And so like I finally, like he was like at the end, like I was like, no, I'm leaving, I'm tired, whatever. He's like, oh, are you gonna be okay to drive? Like you sure you don't want to cuddle? Like, I don't want to fucking cuddle you. I don't want to touch you. Like, don't hug me, don't whatever. And like he kept like, he had like a Browns hat, like the sports team Browns hat, and it was like a winter hat. I don't know you. All I know is that, and I work with kids, so it's like anything with like clothing or anything, and you're putting on other people's heads and stuff, like you can spread shit. Bitch, I don't know you like that. And he's like, put this hat on, put this hat on. It's like, no thank you, I don't want this hat on. And like every time I would say no thank you to something, he like wouldn't listen. And then I got to the point where I like snapped at him and was like very firm, and I was like, what part of no don't you understand? When someone tells you no, you don't do that. Like, that's completely disrespectful and all this stuff. And he's like, man, like, you can't take a joke. I'm like, no, it's not a joke, because if somebody says no, you're old enough to understand that. So I don't know why the fuck it's not registering in your head that no means no. Like, why aren't you listening to, you know, who you're talking to? When somebody says no, you don't fucking do it. Like, that's not, you know, that's not nice, like, for one. And it's just like, it's rude as fuck. Like, I just, oh my god. Like, my kids that I take care of at my job, who are 1 year old, have more self-respect and so much respect for people around them than this man. And like, I'm literally not even like exaggerating at all. Like, my kids are very well behaved, very respectful, and this man is just like completely just like from another fucking universe. Like, I just don't understand. So I finally get up, I'm getting up, putting my coat on and stuff, and he's like talking shit about people who have like extensions and stuff. I don't even know how the fuck he got on this topic. Like, I think it's because he was like, oh, I really love your long hair and blah blah blah, and he's like, you look so pretty and you look really exotic and all this crap. And then he starts talking shit about people who have hair extensions and how people look ghetto and all this shit. So I shut that down in a second. I was like, I hope you realize that I'm wearing extensions. I was like, and just because somebody wears extensions doesn't mean they're ghetto or they like don't have hair or whatever. Like, people wear it because they fucking want to wear it. They want to wear it because they feel pretty in it. They want to wear it because they want to have different hair. Like, they want different styles. They want different lengths and all this shit. Like, sometimes people wear it because they don't want to mess with the real fucking hair. Like, you're so fucking ignorant. I literally would could like strangle him, because I just like the most like, I don't know. He's just, I don't even know how to describe it. He's such an asshole. Like, I won't even say an asshole. He was just very close-minded. And I'm like, dude, like, you need to, like, watch what you say, because you don't even realize, like, half the shit you're saying is so fucking ignorant and so, like, racist and so sexist and, like, whatever. And I told him, I was like, yeah, this is fucking extension. So if you want to talk shit, make sure you shit straight first. And he's just like, oh, well, I think you're really pretty, and oh, I like your long hair. And then he compliments my leather jacket 1,001 times, and I'm like, yeah, I get it. And so I'm putting on my coat or whatever. I'm like annoyed. I already pull out my phone, and he's like, who the fuck are you texting? Blah blah blah. You can't text Chris in my house. I was like, I don't give a fuck what you think. I was like, I can text who the fuck I want. I don't give a fuck if I'm in your house or not. I was like, I'm fucking leaving. Like, the fuck do you think you are? Like, and then like, he ended up, like, when I was walking out, he's like trying to tell a story about his friend went on a Tinder date and literally patted down one of these girls because he claimed that she stole stuff from her house. I was like, I highly doubt that happened. I was like, your friend is probably fucking insane, and if he ever felt like if that girl stole from him, like, you shouldn't have brought her to your fucking house to begin with. Like, that's so stupid. And he's like, oh, what if I patted you down so I'd punch you in the fucking mouth? Like, why would I want to steal shit from you to begin with? It's so stupid. I was so irritated, like, whatever. And he's like, let me walk you down to your car. And I was like, no, like, I'll do you a favor. Like, you can fucking stay in your house. I don't give a fuck. He's like, let me walk you to the door. And I'm just like, no, it's fine. And he, like, walked anyway. So I'm just, like, so irritated, like, rolling my eyes. Like, I just want to fucking go home. Like, you're fucking crazy. He's like, yeah, like, text me when you get back to your house and stuff, and make sure that you know, I just want to make sure you're okay and all this stuff, and we should spend some more time together. And I'm like, yeah, right. I just walked off, and he's like, you have a good night, and you know, it was really nice meeting you and all this stuff, and you're so pretty. I'm like, okay, great. So, so after that, I ended up deleting and like blocking him or whatever, because like it's really fucking weird. Like, that was like the most off the wall date I've ever experienced in my life, and it's like so stupid. Like, I understand there's different people, you know, around the world, but like this guy was just like completely off the wall. And it's funny, like when he was telling stories about other women and how they were crazy and like all this other shit, and I'm like, you know what, I don't even believe that. I bet you were the fucking crazy person and these women were probably the normal ones. And like, I don't know, I just thought it was so off the wall and so crazy. So I don't know, that was my crazy Tinder date, and I think that will be, this happened about a month ago, and I'm not sure if I want to go on one anytime soon right now, just because it was just so crazy, and I like can't keep up with it. I hate dating. I hate everything about it. It's like so annoying. I want to know who, if anybody, has had crazy stories like this, because like I just feel like it's so off the wall. Like, this shit would happen to me. Like, what? So if you liked, please comment down below, like, and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.